Hump Day Real Estate with Kendell, DMV. We're back another Wednesday, getting over the hump. I hope you folks have had a wonderful weekend, a wonderful first half of the week. Uh, hey, got a guest coming, but while waiting for the guest to come, let's talk about to the home buyers out there. Why is a home inspection important? Well, home inspection helped access the condition of the home. So when you go into the property, unlike what happens when you buy a vehicle, you have no access. They give you paperwork, say they had 10-point inspections, or maybe they don't. But when you purchase a home, in the process, once you get the contract, when you create the contract, you put in there a contingency that you want to have the property inspected. Or if they tell you, if it's the market like we're just coming out of, where you got to buy the house as is, you say as is, but I want an inspection, and that will give you what's it for. Well, the first thing, while it may vary state by state, here's some things inspectors generally look for in existing homes: structural concerns, like the foundation. So if there's a basement, or if it's a home that's sitting on a slab, they look all around the foundation and try to declare whether things look like it's normal. They may ask you to go and actually reach out to another specialist to take a look, just to make sure that, if they feel any kind of way about it, they'll say, look, we're not licensed at this. We can inspect, but you may need to go and get the professional. They check your HVAC and heating systems for problems. They check all the plumbing and or electrical issues. They also check the exterior for rot or decay, and they check the roof shingles or for flashing problems. And in some areas like Baltimore City, DC, and you have the townhouses, they check the flat roofs, whether it's tar, rubber, whatever type of structure is actually up there. They check for all of that stuff. They do a little different sometimes. They have some inspectors that actually put a drone up. There's some inspectors that actually get on the roof. I've actually seen some inspectors who just use binoculars, and if it's a shingle roof, they look at the roof and they kind of give you their idea. And again, if there's something going on there, then they'll refer you to have an inspector actually check that thing out. But here's why it really matters. According to NAR, roughly 30% of the buyers are waiving their inspections. Here's why that's not worth the risk. Well, getting an inspection ensures you know what condition it's in to avoid costly surprises down the road. So, even if you're buying the property as is, it's advised to still get the inspection. You want to get the inspection. You want to be able to make sure that you at least know what's going on, or have an idea what's going on in the property. That way you don't go into the property blind. That's one thing you don't want to do, is go into the property blind. Let's see. What happened to the guest? Go check and see where the guest is. But folks, you got to know, you're buying a home. Uh, you need to know about what's going on in your home. It's important. Um, and it's a very crucial step in the home buying process. So folks have to keep that in mind. Don't want to purchase, and in most cases, that's a contingency that you can use to get out of the contract. If you get under contract and your agent negotiates that the home inspection has a certain period to take place, and that if anything happens where you don't like what's going on and you can't bear it, or you can't negotiate to have it any of the things repaired by the seller, then it gives you time to get out of the contract, so you won't get stuck with a home that is going to be very costly. So not sure where the guess is, but let's go to another thing. Let's talk about home prices projections. If you're wondering if home prices are going to go down due to the cool down, you might be surprised. I just did something wrong. Okay, I need to share my screen. Let's check this out. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. So if you're wondering if the home prices are going to come down due to cool down in the housing market or potential recession, here's what you need to know. Not only are experts forecasting home prices will continue to appreciate nationwide this year, but most of them actually increased their projections for home prices appreciation from their original 2022 forecast. So looking at Fannie Mae says January 2022 appreciation forecast will go 7.6%. Well, the latest forecast says as high as 16%. Freddie Mac says 6.2. Their latest forecast, they say 12.8. So something's changed that changed these folks' mind that changed their numbers. National Association of Realtors says 5.1. The latest forecast is 11.5. Zelman, 3%. The latest forecast, 10%. HPES, 6.3%, 9.3%. MBA, 5.1%, 27%. As the chart showed, most of these sources have adjusted their numbers. But why are the experts so confident the housing market will see ongoing appreciation? It's because of supply and demand in most markets. Now, I have a little message here that Bankrate says, after all supplies of homes of sale remain near record lows, and while a jump in mortgage rate has dampened demand somewhat, construction and strong household formation by large numbers of millennials. The millennials out there, what are millennials doing? So knowing that expert forecast home prices will continue to appreciate in most markets and they actually increase their original projections for this year should help you answer the question, will home prices fall? According to the latest forecast, experts are confident prices will continue to appreciate this year, although at a more moderate rate than they did in 2021. So if you're worried about home prices are they going to decline, rest assured many experts raise their forecast to say they'll continue to appreciate in most cases in most markets. Let's see if this is my guest trying to get me. Nope. So let's go to something else. We're not sure where the guest is this evening, but we ready. So let's talk about something. Let's talk about three tips for home buying today. If you put off your home search at any point over the past 2 years, you may want to consider picking it back up on today's housing market conditions. Recent data shows the supply of homes for sale is increasing, giving buyers like you an additional options. But it's important to keep in mind that while the inventory is improving, it's still a seller's market, folks. It's still a seller's market. And that means you need to be prepared as you set out on your home search. 3 tips for buying the home of your dream today. Let's check this out. Understand how mortgage rates impact your home buying power. So look at this chart right here. So if you were looking, if your max mortgage payment that you're looking at is $2,100 to $2,200, and the green shows you where things need to be. So in other words, let's start from the top. If you need to be under $2,200 at 6% interest rate, if the loan officer tells you the interest rate is 6%, that means that you would probably only be able to get a house in the $360,000 range. And as the chart shows you, that's principal and interest. So at 6%, your max mortgage payment is $2,200. You would be at $2,158. At 5.75, 5 3/4, that would be at 5 3/4. That would be, you would still be at $360 with a $2,101 payment. At 5 1/2, you could go up to $380, keeping you at that $2,158. So at 5 1/4, you still would be in the range. 2098, 1988. The payment actually is continuously going down, of course, with the interest rates going down. But you guys get the picture. Everything to the left is all the increase in price over $2,200. So, folks, if you're thinking about getting in the market, this is what the numbers look like. So you have to look in your market where you're looking to buy and see. If you're looking at $2,200 and the loan officer says the interest rate is 6%, it's a $360,000 home, the home that would have interest in. So that's what's going on there. You would really have to pay attention to that. You would also be open to exploring different options during your search. The supply of homes for sale is improving, which gives you more homes to choose from, but historically, it's still low. That means that if you search for homes, if you still don't find something that meets your needs, it may be worth expanding your search. So sometimes you can't, you want to be in that particular area, for price differences and some other things. Let's say, for instance, like in the DMV, folks in DC and that are moving out of DC, and they're looking for less expensive places. They go down to PG County. PG County may have higher taxes, or although the home prices might be okay, but a lot of those folks end up going an hour and a half or so down to Charles County and St. Mary County, because the homes are a little bit more affordable, also with the interest rate. So I've actually myself, I've had buyers that moved down to Charles County from PG County because trying to find a home in the PG County area was much higher. They didn't get as much home for what they were trying to get their payment at in PG County, so they went to another county to actually try to be able to get some. A recent article from the Washington Post highlights a few things buyers can consider today. It encourages opening yourself up to other areas. We just talked about that. For example, if there's a location you previously ruled out, like a particular town, for example, it may be worth taking another look. And if you're able to, opening your search to include the housing types like newly built homes, condominiums, townhomes, can further increase your pool of options. Even as an inventory of home sales improve today, finding ways to cast a wider net during your search could help you find a hidden gem. Third thing, work with a local real estate professional for expert guidance. you need the proper guidance to help you understand. So those some of those buyers I had, they didn't know. I mean, they knew about Charles County, but they didn't know about the prices. They don't know, So you have to have an agent that not try to intrude the people to if to take a look at these other counties, but just bring, give you some advisory, bring some numbers up, show a few of the homes that's on the market, and then see to see what the buyers are willing to do. Do they want to take a ride and go see what that commute looks like from work and etc. So they some of my buyers did those things and ended up buying right in those areas because the arrangement actually made sense. Um, so ultimately, you need to be prepared when you set out to buy a home. Uh, Jeff Ostrowski, senior mortgage reporter for Bankrate, explains taking the leap to home ownership can provide a feeling of pride while boosting your long-term financial outlook if you go in well prepared with your eyes open. No matter what you're at in, no matter where you're at in your home ownership journey, the best way to make sure you're set up for success is to work with a real estate professional. And so, folks, you have Zillow, you have Trulia.com, you have all these different sites that you can actually go to and look at homes. But the one thing you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure that you get with your trusted advisor and you make sure that the person has your best interests at heart. Um, I, you know, you, it's always a good idea, and unfortunately, folks, I've had to. It's not always your friend or family member. It has to be something that and you should interview. It has to be somebody that shows you they have your best interests at heart. Um, I even seen where some folks get mad at an agent or a loan officer and they say, well, I don't like the way he operates. I don't like the way she operates. But look at their background. Do they get deals closed? Do they get negotiated? You might not like as long as they respect you, but you might not like how they operate, how they talking per se, because they know their stuff, but you want to get with someone who can help you understand what this process is. Because for some folks, this is the biggest purchase they'll ever make in their life. The first, might even be last purchase that they'll make, but it's the biggest one that they'll ever make. And so you need to be with the right person that can actually help guide you through uh, this major journey, and it's a journey. If you ask anybody who purchased a home in the last 2 years, it was a major journey. Folks buying homes and having to watch people bid $15,000, $25,000 over the asking price, all the way up to one transaction I was trying to get into. I think they ended up $100,000 over, and then the buyer ended up having cash. You know, so where did that come from? During the pandemic, people had cash to pay for five, six, $700,000 houses. So plan ahead. I'm not sure what happened to my guest today, but we're going to keep it moving. Well, and this segment is going to be a little short because I had myself just set up for a few things. But folks, keep in mind, I don't think the real estate market is going to crash as the forecast of the National Association of Realtors and some of the folks that we showed the chart on actually showed. I think supply and demand, we're coming out of a hot seller's market back into a normal seller's market. Inventory just starting to rise up a little bit. And the problem from what I'm seeing with the inventory trying to increase is that we're getting a lot of the baby boomers and all that are actually coming into the market selling homes as is. Most of the buyers, especially millennials, don't want those homes. The only way they'll purchase, the only way they can purchase some of those homes and get what they want is they have to do a 203K loan. There's folks we know, they want instant gratification. Most people want instant gratification. If the home is not already renovated, they can't move in, they're not buying it. So that becomes inventory that sneaks up. But the problem is it's not the inventory that the buyers want. And then it sits on the market long, making it look like it's a bunch of inventory, because then the investors can't even buy them because these folks that want to sell them want too much money for them. So that's what you're going to see out there if you already working with an agent and the agent is telling you, you know, and you keep telling the agent, well, it's enough inventory out there. Well, it can be per se, but only enough inventory for, I mean, it's not enough inventory for the people who want to buy specific inventory. Are you interested in buying the property that needs about $20,000 renovation? If you are, then the opportunity is there for you. You do what's called a 203K loan. Check out one of my previous videos. I had a good loan officer on it who talked about 203K loans. So folks, thanks for joining in. I don't know what happened to my guest, but thanks for joining in for another Hump Day Real Estate with Kendell, DMV. I'll see you next time.